I'm here in Islamabad to speak to Arnold Costa, who was co-leader of the K2 Winter Expedition this year, and Thomas Rota, who was the team doctor. Now they're going to shed a little bit of light on what they think happened on the day that the three climbers went missing a little over a week ago.
It's hard to say what exactly happened. We've seen them leave from Camp 3. And Ali San is actually the last person to have seen them somewhere in the bottleneck or near the bottleneck, about 10 o'clock in the morning. I assume that they continued for their summit push, and either they've been caught by the cold or they ran out of oxygen maybe and got in trouble on the way down. They've been climbing long enough, it's possible they summited. When the Sherpa team with Nimes summited, we're euphoric because it kind of proved that what we wanted to do was possible. And of course, when the first casualty happened, very quickly we got reminded that the winter is not the same as summer. When we started the summit push, we knew there was a small, what we call weather window. So the weather was supposed to be good up to, say, noon the following day. And then the winds would pick up, say 30 kilometers an hour until midnight the same day. The possibility was small to summit. It's not like summer. For example, base camp temperatures, they're about minus 20 in the day, minus 35 in the night. These temperatures are normally summit temperatures in the summer. If you want to summit in the winter, you have to take a lot of risk. From the bottleneck, it's probably 7 hours more to summit, and that would have been late, but not impossible. I think they've been trying to help each other. Probably one person got in trouble, they tried to help each other, and the next one gets in trouble, and it's like a chain reaction. This is my theory, so this is not a fact. Once you expose yourself too long to altitude and too long to this extreme cold, don't forget that it's minus 60, and with a little bit of wind, minus 60 becomes minus 90. It's very difficult for humans to cope with these conditions, and that's why also K2 was never climbed in the winter before. People here seem to think that you can fly up with a helicopter and get somebody from the mountain. This is not true. In good circumstances, a helicopter can fly up to 7,000, say 7,400 meters, but it cannot maneuver, it cannot hover, it cannot drop a person, it cannot fly over the summit. So even if you have proper helicopter rescue, we call it long line rescue, it's still very limited to what you can actually do on high altitude with a helicopter. In Nepal, there's no screening. Pakistan is not different than Nepal. So everybody who basically pays for a permit in Nepal is allowed to climb. It's up to the companies to screen. All our members were experienced 8,000 meter climbers. Some of the casualties were even people who climbed many 8,000 meter peaks. Mountaineering has risks. Mountaineering is not a safe sport. I might attempt it again.
I just know Snorri very well. For me, he was a very reasonable climber, very wise, very experienced. I also think that he was maybe a little bit too tired on the summit push because he spent like 2 whole months already in the base camp. But these are all just speculations. The biggest mistake is always on the side of climbers. People who want a summit for every price will actually stay on the mountain. That's the first error. All the rest are just little details that can maybe add something to the tragedy or disaster. So we should be experienced to that level that we can judge ourselves if we are able to go up and down also. And I think in this corner is the answer to your all questions why those guys didn't came back.